Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I am James with Blue Dog Aquatics. Sorry about not putting in a video out last week. I had some health tests that I had to take care of. So obviously health comes first, but I wanted to bring you, I know we did the chicken video a couple of weeks ago and I told you I'd do a freshwater video this week. So what we're doing today is we're actually talking about one of probably the most common fish in the freshwater industry, and that is the guppy. They come in so many different variations of colors and patterns. It's just incredible. These ones right here are our flame guppies, also known as the tequila sunrise guppies. But I mean, look at the color variations. These are all males right here. We don't have any females in this tank. We do have some down in one of our other tanks, but yeah, and we got a bunch of babies in that tank, so yeah. But the really cool thing, I mean, I actually didn't know about this until I actually did a little research on it. And the guppy actually gets its name from a gentleman named Robert John, let's see if I can pronounce this, Lachmere guppy. That's where all guppies get their name from. He was actually the first one to introduce guppies into the trade, which I think is absolutely awesome because these guys are active. They never sit still. They're always moving. And today we're going to tell you how to take care of these guys properly. First and foremost, you can see this is a 20-gallon long here. Minimum amount of guppies that you can have, because these guys are a schooling fish. They like to be safe. They like to be together, is 3. Yeah, you heard it, 3. Typically, trios are the best to sell guppies in, where you have 2 females and 1 male. You always want to have more females than males, otherwise the males will go and they'll actually shred the females because they're overworking it, doing their thing. You know what I'm talking about if you're of age. And so you always want to keep the ratio of more females to males. We have all males in here and they do really well because they don't have that little testosterone boost of going, oh, there's a lady. Because if I put one lady in here, oh man, every single one of these boys would be after her. Temperature on these guys like it. They actually have a very wide range as far as their temperature, but they do like the warmer water since they are from Northeast South America. They like to be around 72 to 82 degrees. Obviously, the warmer you keep it, the more they're going to be prone to breeding at warmer temperatures. So make sure to keep, whether you have a heater, we have them up top. Obviously, in our store, we're not trying to breed. So, yeah. But yeah, we don't have tanks, or we don't have heaters on any of the tanks except for our turtle tank. If you hear that noise to the side, it's actually Scott. Scott's doing some tank maintenance over here. It's not me being weird and clicking my fingers. But pH on these guys needs to be between 6.8 and 7.8. Now, when you get into other fish, the parameters are a lot tighter. But because guppies are pretty much, I'm gonna call them the universal fish, they really don't care. As long as that temperature doesn't drop below 60 degrees, that is the absolute coldest for guppies. They don't like it that cold. Like I said, they do like the warmer temperature, but parameters are very key if you are trying to reproduce and breed these guys out. The GH, or the general hardness, needs to be between 8 and 12. And then the maximum nitrates needs to be 10 parts per million. Filters on these guys are actually very straightforward. These guys don't like a lot of heavy flow that, let's say your tetras or your danios might like, or even like your rainbow fish. They're gonna like the faster movement water. Guppies don't. Guppies are top dwellers, so they like to spend a lot of their time in the top of the tank, moving back and forth. You can see that they're going up and down, but most of the time they spend it up toward the middle or the top of the tank, and they think they're being fed. Sponge filters accommodate this very well. It gives it a low flow or a moderate flow, nothing that is too strong for them. And if you do have a filter that hangs on the back that might have a little bit stronger flow, what you can do is incorporate some plants or some hardscapes to actually block that flow. That way it's not blowing them all over the place, because If you do have too strong of a flow, you can actually stress these guys out to the point of exhaustion and they will actually die from it. Live plants, I will always be a motivator for live plants in aquariums. I mean, look at this tank, it's absolutely beautiful. We have the rocks for the hardscape, and then we have a couple of different plants in here. The plants we have in here, we have the Amazon swords, which are the big ones in the back, and they also have the Marble Queen sword plants, and these ones are actually the small ones down here in the bottom. We have also a creeping Charlie that's going up the right side there. But I like the swords because they're nice and filling. They fill up, especially when you talk about bigger enclosures, or bigger tanks. They fill up all the space and makes the tank feel more natural, which is obviously the point that we always push in our store. Is we want these animals to be in as natural of an environment as possible. And guppies, I mean, you can sit there and watch these guppies for days, and if you get equal parts females, obviously you don't want to do too many guppies. This is a 20 long, like I said. There's plenty of space for all these guppies to get away from each other if they wanted to. But if you have a ton of guppies, I would recommend something a lot larger, especially if you plan on breeding, because each generation is going to introduce a bioload, and which is them essentially going to the bathroom in the water. You do need regular maintenance on this, and that's gonna be your water changes. Depending on how many guppies or how many fish that you have in your tank, that's going to determine how often you need to do water changes. These ones get water changes weekly, and they are absolutely loving it, and the live plants absolutely help with that. Like I said, these guys are top swimmers, so they like to move up near the top, and breeding of these guys is actually really easy. These guys, like I said, if you get 2 females and 1 male and let them do their thing with the proper parameters, the proper temperature. Sorry, we do have customers in here, so I'm trying to wrap this up. These guys will breed and breed and breed. They're by far one of my favorites because you can get so many different color variations and so many different types. Whether it's the fantails or the Moscows or the Endlers, I mean, there are just so many different variations of guppies that can bring you joy, especially for your kids. And they're one of the easier things. So your kids, if they're looking for a beginner fish, guppies are definitely the way to go with it. They're, like I said, they're very forgiving in their water parameters, and these guys are just an awesome addition to anybody's aquarium. I've seen some big tanks that are set up with fish and guppies, and just the movement of them is just absolutely awesome. While I'm on it, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. Our channel is continuing to grow, and if you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed these little guys, make sure to leave us a comment down below. Next week, we got a special treat for you on our videos, and we've actually been doing a thing where we're actually starting to do shorts every single day. So make sure to check those out here on Blue Dog Aquatics. If you haven't checked out our new page, Blue Dog Reptiles, make sure to do that. That's brought to you every Friday with new and exciting reptile care guides. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And as always, the big question, your tank or mine?